What's interesting about data curiosity is that it has a time window beyond which it begins to wane and eventually just expires. The waning is only natural as leaders are barraged with critical decisions every moment of the day. And if their attention moves on to more pressing topics, so does their data curiosity. And if the curiosity is not nurtured within a reasonable amount of time, they're compelled to make decisions that are either based on partial information or are instinct driven, neither of which is a desirable outcome. I'll tell you up front that Encorta is the answer to feeding the data curiosity of every organization. But before we jump into the Encorta magic, let's look at what is the current state of the data analytics market and the opportunities it presents for Encorta. Data analytics has remained top of mind for enterprises for the past 2 decades. So much so that Gartner tracks the space as 3 distinct multi-billion-dollar markets. Database management solutions for analytics, including data warehousing solutions, $37.1 billion total addressable market. Data integration tools, such as ETL, $2.7 billion total addressable market. Analytics and BI platforms, front-end analytics, $3.5 billion total addressable market. Enterprises routinely use a combination of these 3 solutions to feed data curiosity, the reason for which lies in a bit of history lesson in database management systems. From their inception, query engines have had one fundamental and severe limitation. They were designed for online transaction processing, OLTP, systems that consisted of lots of transaction writes, reads, and updates. They were not designed for the online analytical processing, OLAP, style queries that typically require scaling beyond 3 or 4 joins. Today, massive and complex data sets are par for the analytics course for any reasonable sized organization. These data sets are pushing the limits of the query engine limitations, resulting in exponentially growing response times that have become huge execution bottlenecks for today's data-curious leadership. 1. The data warehousing market. Star schemas to the rescue. This query engine limitation means that data warehouses, whether running in the cloud or on premises, simply cannot handle queries against large, more than a couple hundred million rows, and complex, normalized data sets, 3NF, that need more than 4 joins, data sets. In order to overcome this limitation, additional concepts and technologies were introduced into the data warehousing value chain. One such key concept is the star schema. The star schema was specifically developed to denormalize 3NF data so that the query engine is able to handle these complex query use cases within acceptable response times. Unfortunately, rather than fixing performance issues completely, these schemas only temporarily delay the inevitable exponential growth in query response times. 2. The data integration tools market, adding more moving parts. One undesirable side effect of these schemas is that practitioners are forced to restrict the amount and complexity of data and need to be selective about which data subsets from different source applications are reshaped into the schema. To enable these selective reshaping and data transfers, they're forced to introduce another step to the value chain, the extract, transform, load (ETL) process. ETL was specifically invented to simplify the movement and reshaping of data to make it fit into the star schemas. This additional ETL steps adds to the moving parts. They're costly and brittle and break often when the source application schemas change and are one of the main reasons for the significant delays incurred in IT delivering on new report requests. To be clear, not all ETL is bad ETL. The transformation part of ETL is often necessary where data formats are standardized across multiple sources and where data is enriched to make it more valuable for analysis. 3. The analytics and BI platforms market, limited to the lower end of scale and complexity. Vendors in this market have primarily focused on integrating and streamlining the data warehousing value chain. However, given that they haven't fixed the root of the issues, poor performing query engines, the integrated stack can scale only up to a few 100 million records and 3 to 4 joins. Or else they force IT to pre-aggregate their data sets before making them available for analysis, oftentimes losing data fidelity along with the ability to drill down from top-line analysis to a single line of record. This has led to incremental innovation down the wrong path. Unfortunately, the latest innovation in the analytics market has been incremental and limited to that of moving the warehouses, data marts, and ETL pipelines to the cloud to leverage the value proposition of cloud infrastructures, on-demand scale, and pay-as-you-go charge model. Some vendors have gone a step further and offered data warehousing automation, DWA, tools to automate the same cumbersome data modeling and ETL tasks and try to lessen the pain, which is like making a horse carriage faster rather than reimagining the transportation problem. Enter Incorda. Incorda has reimagined the query engine and solved the join challenges with its innovative direct data mapping technology. Direct data mapping delivers queries in sub-seconds against the most complex and large data sets. As a result of this capability, it dramatically pares down the data warehousing value chain by eliminating data modeling and the unnecessary parts of ETL. It's the one-stop shop for your business's analytical needs without compromising on the scale or complexity of your data. IT can now ingest all the data from all the application sources while inheriting their entity relationships. And since Incorda can ingest entire schemas, data is available for analysis at 100% fidelity. There's no information loss or the data inaccuracies typically introduced by data transformations or pre-aggregation. Do you not believe us? Take the Incorda challenge. With Incorda, it takes only a couple of hours, if not minutes, for IT to pull in all the data needed to answer the first question asked by business. With Incorda's sub-second query response times, any subsequent question can be answered in seconds as well, meaning IT and business users can peel the proverbial onion to get to the heart of any business challenge. IT certainly breathes easier as their backlog goes down dramatically with the quick turnaround time on new and change analytics requests, and business is excited to feed their data curiosity, all in real time. To learn more, go to www.incorda.com.